This is what we call a gauge buster. It only has to be in the top one. Yeah, this thing's a good 6 and a 6. What is that? This baby's a good 6 inches. Woo! Wow, what a beautiful, looks like it's almost slack tide or still just coming in. I don't know whether we're low or high, but this seems to be a pretty good vantage point to get some stuff in the water here. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm kind of scouting out a little bit. I wonder if some ripples are in the water. There's something coming this way. Maybe a school of bait fish, but what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. All right, we have a lot of firepower in here today. We're kind of at slack tide right now. And yeah, I think we should be coming into, I think high tide's gonna be about 2. Looks like we're just slightly still pulling out a little bit. We got 1, and then we have 2 more hoop nets, trap nets over here. This is number 2 running out there. And then we have number 3, which is probably snagged on that rock a little bit down there. I have to walk down and get that off. And we have 2 fishing rods deployed. I have a license for 2 rods here. And here's number 1. And then I got number 2. I really casted far out there, so we just have to wait to pull, see what we get. Let me put it this way. If it was the Dungeness season, I would be really happy. But guess what, guys? It's not. So we're gonna have to pop her on back, but isn't that a beauty? Snared real nice there, so we know it works. So let me concentrate on getting this baby back here. That is a nice one. That's a beauty. That would be a keeper. What a beauty. All right. And there she goes. And we got a spider crab today. Look at that guy. Right? Look at that dude. Put him back in the water. Bite's picking up. We're certainly starting to nail the Dungeness crabs in here. Gotta get, this is a female. So in California, it's legal to keep them if they don't have eggs. But I generally don't. It's good for the population. This might take 2 hands to work this off. I don't know. There she goes. Be fruitful and multiply. So we're getting plenty of action. Last time out I didn't even see a Dungeness crab. Now all I'm getting is Dungeness. And I'm not getting any red rock crabs, so kind of a good sign, if nothing else, when the season opens for Dungeness. X marks the spot right here. All right, back to it. Let's get this bait back in the water. Nah, I think he just popped off. All right. So while we're pushing forward with our right hand, we want to be pulling with our left hand. And we want to keep the rod tip pointed as high as possible till it starts to go down and then lower it. And we're right out in the middle of the channel, which is great. It's not as good as casting with the 12-foot rod, but it'll do. Yeah, so it's definitely looking like the tide is rolling in here, which will be good. That'll favor us. It's always best to do anything on the incoming. I don't really feel like a lot of people will go foraging in the rocks for eel and rock crabs hiding in there. It's really not my bag. There's our third dungie of the day. There she is. Little female, so she's got to go back. But this is a good spot to consider. So I think it's only going to get better as we get to November here. Here comes that marine research vessel. NOAA, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the one. Heading on out. Well, we're just being patient. I'm enjoying the fact these snares are working well, but I'm getting Dungeness today, exactly what I didn't expect to get. Wonder what kind of research they're on today. Drop a few crab pots while you're out there. Oh, man, there's another big gauge buster there. Wow, that's enormous. That one, I don't know. I wanted rock crab today, but I'm certainly getting my fill of Dungeness. Just not the season. Back you go. I think we got a rock crab in a trap here, but oh man, I gotta go down the slide. And I do mean slide here. Oh boy. To grab this baby over here. Got kind of caught up. Can you imagine smashing yourself on these rocks here? Easy does it. Easy does it. Easy. Let's see what we got. Yeah, looks like we got a nice one there. All right. Definite big keeper. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. Man, what a struggle today. What a struggle. But we're starting to get rewarded. I'll see you topside. Got some real meat on it. Boy, this thing weighs a lot. It's a nice big fat male. All right. Whoo! On the board. We've been catching a lot of crab, but finally something we're legal to keep. Woo! Man, this is like the, I don't know, is this the same guy I'm catching? This. Kind of a weird looking, it's like a spider crab thingy. I don't know. I think I've caught this thing a lot of times today. Oh well, I don't think you're good eating. So back you go. Down to the deep. With all of your playmates. Catching a lot of stuff today. I'm pretty happy, and I've been working on my casting too, which is getting better and better. All right, it's been here about 3 hours so far. I only got one big crab to show for it, but it's a monster. Man, I would have, if it was legal season, I'd already have 3 really nice dungies and a really nice rock crab. Man, I would be in high cotton. But, so what are the positive takeaways today so far? Well, I'm outside. Number 2, I'm like a freaking cliff dweller getting up and down these rocks, and I'm becoming like a, I'm not going to say I'm an ibis that I could be on an 89-degree slope, right? Ibex, that's what it is. But I'm saying I'm starting to get used, I'm starting to be comfortable climbing around rocks and stuff like that. They're not slippery. The tide is coming in now, which is nice. So I'll probably put another couple hours in and then call it. At least, you know, I got enough for a really good soup. Another one would be a great soup. That would be outstanding. But it'll be a good soup for sure. So the other thing is, the more you cast, the better you get. Right. The more you get used to what a crab feels like, those Dungeness are just really like pulling really. Sometimes you might think you're snagged on the bottom or something. It's a lot of weight to be pulling in there, and you know, it's kind of sad to let them go. There goes some really good eating, but you got to obey the rules, right? So I'm on a union coffee break here. Yeah, so the tide is definitely coming in, but man, this seagrass drives me crazy here. But we'll see what the incoming tide brings. We'll see if the ill wind, if it's an ill wind, it blows no good today. All right. I remain hopeful. All right, there's another beauty, guys. Another beautiful monster. And I mean monster, that thing's at least, it's probably 6 inches across the shell there. All right, let's bag him up. Bag him and tag him. This is what we call a gauge buster. It only has to be in the top one. Yeah, this thing's a good 6 and a 6. What is that? This baby's a good 6 inches. Woo! We're scoring now. Looks like we got another. Let's see, we got. Yeah, she's gonna be good. Oh, let's see. We're gonna have to do a closer check. We don't want to take any chances. Take anything that we shouldn't ought to take. And believe it or not, guys, we've got our 3rd keeper rock today. Rocky Balboa day. Here, we gotta watch out for these claws. These claws will definitely put a hurting on you. This baby's all tangled up in line and everything. Real challenge to get out of here. Anyway, definitely a good keeper size. Yeah, this baby is a good 5 inches here. Here goes your United States Coast Guard heading out onto the open water. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your service. We are out of here. Oh, you know what's weird today? Well, I mean, it was a great day. I got my personal best, but personal bests are easy to do when you're just starting out, but I would have had like three keeper Dungeness, 3 nice keeper rock crabs, and I lost lost like 2 rock crabs down in the rocks trying to pull the net up. But isn't it interesting that all the rock crabs were caught on the hoop nets, throwing them from shore close to the rocks, and all the Dungeness that I snared and threw back, they were all caught on the snares. So kind of a very interesting, I think they are, I think they were. I'll see when I review the video footage and everything, but yeah, gonna go home and get to enjoy a really nice soup now, which makes me super excited. Sorry about the shadow here, we'll get rid of that in a minute. Stop and get something to stop and pick up a soft drink. So let's head on home. Alright, we are back on the ranch. I'm bringing some salted water to a boil. I got my crabs on the side. It's very hot today. It's in the low 90s. So we want to get this done as humanely, quickly as possible. Get that water boiling, put them in, boom, done. And then we're going to let them cool down a little bit. I'm going to clean up all the gear, spray it off. You should always clear off your fish, clean off fresh water, your fishing and crabbing equipment. So this is about ready to come up to a boil. We're going to boil it for 20 minutes. But we still have to get the crabs out. See how massive these crabs are. They're still alive. Rock crabs have no problem. They stay out of water during low tide for hours on end. So aren't they beautiful? Gonna be some good eating tonight. We're just about at the boil. Man, it's great to be in Kitchen Stadium. There's number 1. There's number 2. And there goes number 3. So they have already passed on. We're going to let these cook away for 20 minutes once we get back to a full boil. Just about 3 more minutes and we are there. Already smells nice and crabby. Delicious. Look at this baby looming out of the deep. Dun 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 dun. I was really fortunate today. I was scoring crabs all over the place. Our timer's just going off here any second. So now, before we do anything else, we have to let these babies cool off. They're definitely too hot to pick right now. Way too hot. But they take on that, that beautiful, bright color. It's a big boy right there. And there we go. All right, excellent. Woo! So we'll see you guys in a while after they've cooled off. I reserved 2 cups of that broth. It was created by boiling the crabs. Don't throw that away. I strained that real well. You're just going to omit the salt from the standard recipe because it's really the shells, the carapace that really gives all the flavor to the soup. So don't throw that away. We're going to add 4 cups of, well, we can just let that sit by. We're going to add some beef stock. Well, we'll talk about the whole recipe in a bit. Been making a lot of headway getting all the veggies together for the Maryland crab soup. It calls for a can of diced tomatoes, 15 ounce. Hey, we grew our own here. Why not use that? We've got a cup and a half of baby carrots, 2 chopped up potatoes, and some onion here. We're gonna go ahead and just heap this in here. Okay. Be savage when you're cooking. All right, right on in. There you go. Good thing we're leaving all the tomato juice and seeds we squeezed out before we chopped them up. Okay. All right. Don't miss any of these goodies. All right. All right, we're gonna sit that over there. And we also need to add some peas to this. All right, we're going to add about a cup of peas. All right, give or take. Right. We're going to now add 6 ounces of tomato paste. Okay. If you don't know how to get it properly out, use the back of your knife and turn it. And then go back in and push to the sides. Use the back of your knife again. And that works perfectly, okay? Sit that over there. We're gonna also add a can, 15 and a quarter ounce of corn. You're like, man, this is everything but the kitchen sink. This is Maryland style, man. We're gonna add, we haven't dealt with the crab yet, we're gonna add a heaping teaspoon of Coleman's mustard to it. Dry mustard, UK's finest. We're gonna add a tablespoon, we're not putting any salt here, a good tablespoon of black pepper. To make it spicy, we're gonna put, since I like it a little spicier, we're going to use, for the Old Bay, we're going to use 3 tablespoons of Old Bay here, okay? These bees are very annoying. 1, 2, 3. That's going to make it super spicy. And then we're going to add, let's see, the Worcestershire sauce, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And now all we have to do is pick the crab and put it in and bring her up to a boil and let her simmer for a while. Oh, this is gonna be, this is gonna be great. Now comes the taking care of the crab. So we're gonna clear all this off and it's gonna be crab a go-go. I'm gonna put this on the Camp Chef stove and get your picking gloves on. Definitely lifted our game since last time. We have a cracker and we have a picker here, and we're going to have a lot of flies around too. Hopefully the breeze will kick up, which will keep the flies down. And we're just going to open this here and then take off the outer shell, set that aside. We're going to put the dead man in it, which, well, we call it dead man. Here you call it the lungs. Back in Maryland, we call it the dead man. And this crab is going to have a lot of meat in it. As you can see, it's got a lot of chambers here. This crab has been around a while. Well guys, then we just split it and then just get to work picking the meat, cracking the claws and doing all that. All right, we're gonna see how much we can put in our bowl here just for giggles, all right? 10 minutes later, we've got well over a pound of meat here. They say that the rock crabs don't have as much meat yet. It's harder to get out, but it's definitely an excellent meat, as you can see there. And well, I guess I'm an expert picker. You know, when you're born in Maryland, instead of putting a rattle in your hand when they're little, they give you a mallet so that you can start practicing whacking hard crabs and enjoying steamed crabs in Maryland, right? Just a nice tradition there. All right, I'm gonna take this meat now. I'm gonna feel through. I see one little shell. Just make sure I don't have any shells in it. I don't think I do. I do a pretty good job. And into the soup she's gonna go. By the way, this is a good time to remind you, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell for all notification. Catch and cook is something I plan on doing a lot of, and I do a lot of stuff out here in Kitchen Stadium, week in, week out. We just made some Cornish pasties the other night, so we're gonna mix that all in. Oh, that looks good, and we're gonna put the heat to it. I'll bring you in for a closer look here. So subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications. You don't wanna miss a thing. That thing is just loaded with crab meat in there. Just loaded with crab meat. Chunks of potatoes, tomatoes, onions, carrots, peas. Yum, yum. Little pre-taste, nice and spicy. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Believe it or not, once this gets up to a simmer here, this got to a boil while I was washing stuff, you're actually gonna cook this for about simmer this for about an hour and a half or so. All right. And it is gonna be fantastico. All right, I'm gonna finish my cleanup. And then we'll see you guys in a while for the final taste testing. All right, rustic style, super spicy, tasty Maryland style crab soup with California rock crab. Really good today. Boy, was I lucky. And now I get the payoff. It's been about an hour and a half. That look amazing with all of those bits in it. Big chunks of crab. Let's try a bowl. Amazing in the bowl. But the proof of the pudding, of course, is in the tasting. It's hot. Wow. It's like 20 Mule Team. Boom. That's Maryland crab soup right there. That's it. I feel lighter too, having washed my hair and got 20 pounds of sea off of me today. But really amazing. Have a bit of the potato. It's absolutely the way I remember it growing up in Baltimore. Going downtown to Lexington Market. You'd have this with crackers or a couple slices of bread. We didn't have sourdough and stuff like that. And it's a working man's town, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it out, and thank you for being here. This just turned out deliciously. I'm going to get this packaged here after it cools down a bit and refrigerated, and I'm going to enjoy it all week. Once again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. I really appreciate you being here as we open up again with part 2 and an epic chapter here in the life of the channel. Thanks so much for being along, everybody. Like and subscribe.